Mass Effect 3, you are presented with three choices. One choice you expected, to destroy the Reapers, and two choices that you didn't know anything about and haven't had a chance to think about and are presented to you right in that very moment. So your decision about the fate of our galaxy is based on information given to you right in that moment by the Catalyst. But should you believe the Catalyst? I mean, is the Catalyst capable of deceiving you? Is he? In talking about the final minutes of Mass Effect, that final conversation that Shep has with the Star Child, in which the Star Child outlines Shep's three choices and gives Shep the reasons why one choice is better than another choice. One thing I've noticed repeatedly is folks asserting that the Catalyst cannot or does not lie. I do not comprehend why people think that the Catalyst is only capable of being truthful. Literally everything that happens at Endgame, galactic existence, 1 billion+ years of genetic history and collective knowledge are suddenly entrusted to one person, an organic. The Catalyst has a vested interest in ensuring that Shepard chooses the option that the Catalyst prefers. The first major issue with trusting the Catalyst is agreeing on the problem it was created to solve in the first place. Leviathan and the Catalyst describe this problem very differently. Here is the Leviathan's version of events. Before the cycles, our kind was the apex of life in the galaxy. The lesser species were in our thrall, serving our needs. We grew even more powerful, and they were cared for. But we could not protect them from themselves. Over time, the species built machines that then destroyed them. Tribute does not flow from a dead race. To solve this problem, we created an intelligence with the mandate to preserve life at any cost. As the intelligence evolved, it studied the development of civilizations. Its understanding grew until it found a solution. In that instant, it betrayed us. It chose our kind as the first harvest. From our essence, the first Reaper was created. You call it. And this is how the Catalyst explains its mandate. I was created to bring balance, to be the catalyst for peace between organics and synthetics, by ones who recognize that conflict would always arise between synthetics and organics. And a little further up, the Catalyst says, when they asked that I solve the problem of conflict, they failed to understand that they were part of the problem themselves. The flaws of their organic reasoning could not perceive this. They lacked the foresight to understand that their destruction was part of the very solution they required. They became the first true Reaper. They did not approve, but it was the only solution. Do you see the discrepancy there? The intelligence has one mandate: preservation of life of the tribute worlds to ensure that that tribute keeps flowing in. But the Catalyst claims it was created to, quote, bring balance, to be the catalyst for peace between organics and synthetics. And frankly, these are very different mandates. Leviathan never mentions wanting the intelligence to forge peace between organics and synthetics. Leviathan has zero interest in the synthetics except to the degree that they were causing an issue with their own creators being able to successfully pay their tribute to the Leviathan. The intelligence was created to protect advanced organic races from being destroyed by the synthetics because tribute does not flow from a dead race. But what did the Catalyst decide to do? It departed from its mandate and turned all organic worlds into salsa, starting with its own creator. The salsa worlds can't pay tribute, and there's no one to pay tribute to anymore anyway. And then, to add insult to injury, when it decided to slaughter its creators and turn them into Reaper salsa, it didn't even bother to explain why. So unquestionably, the Leviathan could not trust the Catalyst and does not trust it now. So why should we, and why should Shep? I guess you could say the catalyst paid tribute to its creators by building its reaper in the image of the Leviathans, but tribute was not the catalyst's purpose. Maybe the catalyst's perception of what life is and being a construct itself, it's not able to comprehend that being turned into either reaper salsa or completely indoctrinated, which is really just a more advanced version of a thrall, would be acceptable to organics. But in any event, the intelligence departed wildly from its mandate. Another thing the Star Child will tell you is that, quote, without us to stop it, synthetics would destroy all organics. The catalyst justifies the need for the harvest by stating that the created will always rebel against their creators. But there's virtually no evidence in the game world history for this, except the Reapers themselves. Shepard's experience across all three games has been that synthetics are not hostile towards organics. The Geth defended themselves from extinction at the hands of the Quarians. The Quarians were the aggressors, and as soon as they stopped trying to wipe out the Geth forgave them and in fact invited them back to their home planet so that they could live and work cooperatively. That Geth act of forgiveness demonstrates the real possibility of peace between organics and synthetics, and they did it without any help from the intelligence. The only history of rebellion and destruction by synthetics against organics is the Reapers themselves or those that they've indoctrinated like Saren and the heretics. Javik will tell you that in his cycle, a race called the Za used machines which they called the Zatil as synthetic workers. The Reapers subjugated and indoctrinated the Zatil as they did the Geth heretics, and then they used them to brutally wipe out the Za. There is simply no evidence or history that it's inevitable that synthetics will one day wipe out all organic life. So just because the catalyst tells Shep the cycles must continue until this problem is solved, that does not make it a true statement. Of course, conflict's going to arise here and there, but there is nothing inevitable about it being a specific conflict between organics and synthetics. The catalyst is wrong, or he's being deceptive. Everything the catalyst did from the moment it turned on the blender with the Leviathan was based on its willful misinterpretation of its mandate, how inevitability works and what constitutes life. And in betraying its creators, it did exactly what it was designed to prevent. The Star Child will make arguments for choosing synthesis or control. They're arguments that sound reasonable until you realize that they are only supported by what the Star Child himself is telling you. The Star Child very much does not want you to choose destroy. Once you remove the premise that the catalyst can't be deceptive or manipulative, you can trust nothing he tells you about what will happen if Shep chooses control or synthesis. They might work just as he says, or they might be a fast drop into complete indoctrination and salsa time. For those same reasons, you also cannot assume that destroy will insta-kill all synthetics. Those that aren't connected to the Reaper network might be fine. The point is you don't know. What you do know for sure is that the Crucible was expressly built for the purpose of destroying the Reapers, and that every cycle, going back 1 billion plus years, has tried to complete it. You also know that Shep's mandate throughout all the games has been to destroy them. So what decision your Shep makes in that moment is up to you, of course. But do know that you go into it a lot more blind than you might realize, because the catalyst is perfectly capable of deceiving and manipulating Shep.